Welcome back. For those of you who may not remember her story, in 1996, Alice Marie Johnson was sentenced to life in prison for nonviolent drug charges. But in 2018, President Trump granted her clemency and she was released.
Johnson has advocated for criminal justice reform ever since. And this week, she is slated to speak at the Republican National Convention. And Alice Marie Johnson joins us now with a preview. Thank you so much for being here. First off, how excited are you to speak at the RNC?
I'm still pinching myself. Having a national stage like this, to be able to speak to the American people, this is beyond one of the greatest honors that I've received.
You know, I'm curious how in the last 2 years since you've been out and been able to, get back to your life and reconnect with your family and your friends, how much your life has changed and what you want the nation to know about yourself and about your story.
Well, I want them to know that my story is not really unique. There are so many others who are still in prison, who are depending on us to see them as human beings, as people, the way that the president saw me.
Alice, what is the theme of your speech?
The theme of my speech really is the forgotten ones. The president made a promise that he was going to listen to the voiceless, that he was going to remember those who have been forgotten. And he is really living up to that promise. He has done incredible things in criminal justice reform. And so I really want the nation to hear my story and remember those who have been forgotten.
Did you ever think, even 5-10 years ago, that this is where you would be right now in 2020?
Absolutely not. I wanted to just go home to my children and grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. 5 years ago, I didn't have great-grandchildren, but I just wanted to reunite with my family. But to whom much is given, much is required. I received a huge blessing, and there is no way that I can forget my sisters, my family, my prison family, because after almost over 2 decades in prison, they became my family. And so I can't, it's like forgetting your family. How could I forget them? And I made them a promise that I would never stop fighting for them. And it's been my mission to do just that.
And along those lines, 3,100 inmates have been released under President Trump's First Step Act. There it is on the screen right there. In light of the civil unrest, though, over so many issues, including criminal justice reform, what do you want to get across about this president's record on the subject?
That he did something historic. That not only did he he brought sentencing reform, something that from the time I walked into prison, that was the thing. I heard it every year, that laws are going to change. But I never saw that happen while I was a prisoner. And then when I come out of prison, the president sees my case, he has compassion upon me, and he says, put sentencing reform into the First Step Act. And so this has given other families that experience that I had of being reunited with my family. And really, that's what this is all about, is that we have to remember these are our fellow Americans. They are going to one day, most of them are going to one day return back into society. And we want to make sure that they're set up for success. So the First Step Act not only addresses sentencing reform, but those who are rehabilitation, to make sure that when they come home, that they are prepared to be a success and not be another statistic of recidivism. So this is really groundbreaking.
Alice,
and I'm so happy for it.
We have about 15 seconds left. I know the work is not done. What else needs to be done from here on out?
Well, the first step has been passed. Now we need to start working on the next step. We can't rest on that, because it can always be, there's more work to be done, as you said. So we really need to get in there and come together as a nation to make more reforms.
Absolutely. Alice Marie Johnson, thank you as always for joining us, and we look forward to hearing from you this week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.